Okay, so the last section is we're going to talk about what happens when we have outliers in our data. So let's look at some people who have been looking at how much they have, how many pieces of blown glass they have made in their art class, okay? So we're going to call this section outliers. And we're going to look at what happens when we have an outlier. So we have these people in class. We have Suzanne, and you should be writing this into your notes also. So Suzanne has made 5 pieces of art, and Glenn has made 1 piece of art, and Carissa, she has made 3 pieces of art, and Elaine, or Eileen, whatever you want to call this name, has made 4 pieces of art, and Herman has made 14 pieces of art. Who knows, maybe Herman's are fantastic, maybe they're just not so great, right? Maybe he's just like the sloppy guy, but who knows, he made 14. And Tom made 2. So right there we can see that there's an obvious outlier. When we're looking at our data, most of them fall between 1 and 5. There's this weird guy, Herman, who is like super crazy about his glass blowing, and he is an outlier. So let's see what happens when we include and not include our outlier in the data. So we're going to do we're going to include our outliers here, and we're going to exclude our outliers over here and see what happens to our data. Well, we'll start by lining them up, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 14. And they're the same when we line them up, except for on this one, we're going to get rid of the outlier 14. Okay? So when we're doing the mean, that's the regular average. So we're going to add them up, and this one's got 6 data pieces, and this one now has 5 data pieces, right? So we can say, let's see, these 3 together are 6, and these 2 together are 9, and this one by itself is 14, and that's 15, and 14 is 29. And then we want to know what's the average there. So that would be 29 divided by 6. That's approximately, so we could use wavy lines if we wanted, 4.83, about 4.83 pieces of art during that week of art class, okay? But we had over here, we just threw out our outlier. These become 6, and these become 9, so this is 15. So they had an average of 3. It brought our average down pretty low, or lower, don't you think? But really, if you look at our data, it looks like more like the average person would make 3, not 4, because 4 is on the very high end of our data sets, I think. So let's go with our median. Remember, our median is our middle number. Well, here we have a set of 6. So we're going to have to find our 2 middles here, here. Oh, they're 3 and 4, so we're going to find the mean average. 3 plus 4 divided by 2. That's 7 divided by 2. And that's 3.5. So the median average is 3.5 here. Well, here we have a nice, we already took our outlier out, so we would say, oh, that's just 3. Okay, so look at that. Our mean and median completely match up on our excluded outlier data, but on our included outlier data, there's a pretty huge gap there. And as you can see, there's no modes because they have the exact same number of data for each. So there is none here, and there are none here. And last, we're going to look at our range. So this is 1 to 14, or 14 minus 1, which is equal to 13 is the range here. And this would be 5 minus 1, which is just 4. So if you're looking at it, the range is different, extremely different here. It's going to throw our mean off when we include the outliers. So generally when we're doing our data, we're going to be throwing out the outliers to make our data make more sense. So we generally throw out our outliers. Okay, and that's kind of what we want to look at with our data, is what we do with those outliers. So I'm going to look at some homework for you, because that is the end of this mean, median, and mode section. This was 11.2 in your workbook or in your book. Okay, and you're just dealing with mean, median, mode, and range. So for the homework, and I think you guys got some real world examples from what I was talking about. You're going to do 11.2 on page number 80, and you're going to do 1 through 7, which is all of them. Okay, so go ahead and start your homework. If you have questions about all of this business, you can let me know. Otherwise, go ahead and start your homework and have fun doing it.